This is a public service announcement. This is a public service announcement. What you're about to listen to may make you yell, shout, smile, and even laugh out loud. Youth baseball players, coaches, and fans join the Slide Podcast crew on their journey to make baseball fun again. Hear stories from players of all ages, plus tips and tricks from coaches and scouts. Now, if you're ready, give us a loud play ball.
Play ball.
Liam.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back to the Slide Podcast. We got approval. That was a good play ball, and we're back. So I'm Coach Aaron, host of the show, and I am joined tonight with Logan, the Lowdown,
Hello.
who is a field reporter. Logan, how are you doing, sir?
Good. I'm doing amazing. How are you doing?
Man, I'm living the dream, Logan. Working hard and trying to survive. So honestly, these days, Logan, I'm just trying to buy groceries. I don't even know. I'm living the dream of trying to buy groceries. So anyway, we also got Liam Chandler joining us tonight. Now, this dude is a Florida Gator fan, and so he's sporting the Gators right now, and so that might tell you that our guest today wears a Florida Gator uniform on the baseball field. So, but in true Coach Aaron fashion, I showed up today wearing my Miami Hurricanes gear because the U is all we should ever talk about on this show is how I believe. But it's okay. It's okay. So, all right, Logan. Dude, you went to the USA tryouts in Jacksonville, man. Tell me how that was.
It honestly went pretty good. I didn't hit the best, but luckily my pitching did save me a lot. Mm-hmm. I think I faced 7 or 6 batters and I got 4 strikeouts.
That's what's up. Okay. You didn't give up any like swamp donkeys or anything, did you?
No. The two other outs were regular outs. They were just hit to the people. Okay.
All right. You know what I think is funny is I thought the combination of swamp donkey was very weird when I heard that was what a home run was called. And now I can just use it in conversation and we can just flow right along. I feel like that's just so weird. But it's just because I'm old, Logan. Just don't laugh at me too much.
You're not old.
Well, you know what? I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Liam, how did you get here, man? Who are you? Like, where did you come from, man? Tell us who you are.
I'm Liam Chandler, and I'm from South Florida.
Awesome. Well, I think you're going to do some scout reporting for us, some upcoming tournaments, because you have some interest in being a field reporter, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me why do you want to be a field reporter?
I want to be a field reporter so I can meet new people and make friends.
Very cool. All right. Well, you know what? That's what baseball's about. So, Logan, did good. You did good in Jacksonville. Liam, you're a Gator fan. Are you two ready for the guest that we have tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right, Logan. I'm going to let you introduce our guest tonight. You guys go way back, and I figure I'd let you do the introduction, okay?
Okay.
All right. Mike Shores.
All right. Hey, Jake. I was excited to do this interview with you because we go back a while, like you said. Known you since I was little. I wanted to see you play. I came to one of your games to see you play. Sadly, you didn't pitch, but I still got to see the Gators play. They're a really good baseball team. How has baseball been going in college for you?
Hey, hold on 1 second. We need to know who he is, Logan.
Oh,
tell our listeners who he is,
and
then we'll get into that fun stuff. Okay, I'll actually take this part here, and I'll put it in front of what you just said. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Tell us who he is.
This is Jake Clemente. He played with my older brother AJ Wydra, and I go a while, and I go back with him.
You guys are like homies, right?
Yeah.
You go back in the day. All right. with
And he
dude.
plays for the
I'm
University of Florida.
yeah, we know that. Hey, and look, I'm gonna tell you, they're a pretty good team, Logan. All right, I'll give
Yeah.
it to you. I was at the College World Series last year for Game One, and that was the only like actually good game out of the three.
Yeah.
Jake, were you there for that?
Yeah, I was.
All right, well, that Game One was amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, now I'll tell you, I was pulling for Florida.
Right.
For all the Miami fans that may listen to this, don't hate me too much, but I had to pull for you guys over LSU. But
Yeah.
anyway, that offensive explosion that you had, like Game 2, was insane.
Right,
So
for sure.
I was on my way home from Omaha and got off the plane and saw the score of the game, and I was like, "There's no way that's right." So
Yeah.
especially after Game 1. All right, Logan. See, sometimes I just take over, and I need you to like tell me to be quiet and let's go.
All right.
All right, you got it.
Okay. So I can start asking the real questions now, right? Okay.
You can do what you want, man.
All right. So I have a couple of questions for you, Jake. What do you do mentally before the game? Before you pitch?
I mean, before the game, it's really just, I mean, I'm a reliever. I'm a relieving pitching. So, I mean, before the game, I mean, it's kind of just like the same old, same old. Like, I'm mentally locked in. I kind of just like, I tune everything out. I mean, before the game, I put my phone away. I put everything that can distract me out of the way. I, number one thing I do is really, I try to just focus on just pitching, throwing, like just making sure I'm fully locked in on the game and making sure I'm fully locked in on just kind of getting after it and making sure I can help my team win in any way just by cheering them on, looking at like watching their pitchers, watching their hitters, just all that type of stuff. I mean, just making sure I'm mentally prepared to be put into any situation. And I mean, when I'm warming up in the pen, that's just like a number one thing is for me is I'm just focused on throwing strikes. I'm focused on making sure when I get out on the mound, I'm attacking hitters. And I mean, I feel like the number one thing in the game is just when you attack hitters and you throw your best stuff at them. I mean, if you're gonna throw your best stuff at them and it's gonna be for strikes, I mean, you can walk away from the game and be like, look, I gave it my all. I threw my best stuff at them, and if they hit me, they hit me. Like props to them. But I mean, that's just the number one thing that mentally I want. Like every time I step on the mound, I just really think like just bring my best stuff, and if they hit me, they hit me. But if I walk people and I hit batters, then that's something that me personally, when I get off the mound and when I do that, like when I look back at that, like I like that's not. It's not that it's just kind of like it doesn't sit well with me in my outing. But if they hit me, I mean obviously that doesn't sit well with me either. But I can at least say that I put my all, and it's kind of it.
I got a question. So there's a couple things you said there. Hear a lot of athletes today say lock in.
Right.
And I think a lot of youth players hear that, but they don't really understand what that may mean. Can
Right.
you help, like, maybe for our young listeners out there, how do you get your mind ready? I mean, because we can say lock in, focus all day long, but sometimes kids may not know how to approach that. How do you?
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, some people there's many different ways to like really, I guess, lock in. I mean, for me personally, I kind of just like to, I mean, I'll talk around, like I'll talk to my teammates. I like to have like a good time, all that stuff as the game's going on. I mean,
Okay.
when we're winning, things are going well. But I mean, once I step on the mound, I really I tune all that out. I mean, the number one thing I think is I just want to I want to dominate. I mean, when you're on the mound or you're in the box or anything, and you're just thinking that you just want to dominate and you want to win a battle. I mean, that's just the number one thing for me is just like I just want to strive to win. I mean, I know a lot of people say this is that like they like for me personally, I truly mean is like I I dislike losing more than I like winning, and I don't know if that's like a bad or good thing, but I mean obviously I love to win, but like I don't like losing that much that like it just like fuels me. It fuels me to like want to compete and really like that's just kind of how I lock in. It's just like I don't like to lose, and it really just it like kind of flips a switch, I guess you can kind of say, to make me just like tune everything out.
Yeah, I've heard that before. I dislike losing more than I like winning. I've definitely heard that before. So,
Right.
and honestly, my point of view, what do you think, Logan? I think it's all right if you use that for the right reasons and use it to help motivate you. I think it works.
I mean, I'm the same way as Jake. I don't like losing. When I lose a game, I feel like it's kind of my fault sometimes, and sometimes I lose. I feel like we all just lose as a team, not just one person lost the game.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, what do you say to a kid like that says, he thinks it's all his fault? Like, is that true as a pitcher?
I mean, look, like you can say that all you want. You can, baseball is a mental game. When you try to tear yourself down and be like, look, I'm the reason we lost. I'm the reason we lost. I mean, it's really like a hard situation just because, look, like your team could have scored more runs. You could have pitched better. I mean, baseball is a team sport. It's the number one quote is there's no I in team. When you lose, when your team loses, like it's a team loss. It's not a personal loss. I understand being down on yourself a little. It's one of those things where like you can't let that get too much to heart because when you lose, you lose. There's going to be more games. Obviously it sucks at the end of the year when you lose a game. And it's like it's a playoff game. It's a win or lose situation. Losses happen. It's a part of life. You really just gotta approach each game and just really just. You gotta flush whatever happened from the previous game when you get into the next game. Because when you let that stuff carry and snowball, it just gets worse and worse. I feel like the number one thing for me is like that I've learned throughout my like process in baseball is really just when I harp too much or when I focus too much on my last outing, my next outing isn't that great. But when I have a bad outing, I like to look back and reflect on what I did wrong to kind of look at myself and be like, you know what, I need to work on this and I need to do this a little better. There's always no one's perfect. That's the number one thing I like to like look at. No one's perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. You can't really dwell too much on the past and dwell too much on your outings. It's really just. I know I'm getting a little long-winded here, but it's just really like you can't focus too much on the past, and you really got to focus on, you know what, like it stinks to lose. No one likes to lose. But you can't put it all on yourself because then you're gonna have all that pressure weight on your back, and it's just gonna be like you're gonna try to do too much the next game to help your team win. When really, when you're put into a game, when you're put up in the box, like your number one job is to like keep the line moving when you're a hitter, and as a pitcher, you just want to keep throwing up zeros, and you want to keep the game close, or you want to keep the lead. No one's perfect. No one can go out there and go perfect game for 9 innings. You can even watch the MLB and you see guys, they lose games, and losing is a part of life. It's a part of the game, and when you let that affect you so much, there's times where you gotta flush it, and once you get back on the mound, you gotta remember it in the back of your head. Be like, you just gotta remember how much you didn't like the feeling of losing that game, and you gotta like dislike that feeling that much that you kind of just gotta go after it, and just like I said earlier, just throw your best stuff at them.
Well, Jake, are you a Taylor Swift fan?
I'm not like I know where you're going. It's the Shake It Off. I see where you're going with this, but
he caught me, guys. He caught me. That's funny. Liam, what you got for this dude?
Okay. What was your hardest team to pitch against this year?
That's a tough question. I faced plenty of good teams. I faced FSU, I faced Tennessee, I faced Kentucky, I faced Arkansas. There's really there's a lot of difficult teams. I can't really pick a specific team. I feel like I kind of just going into every outing, I kind of think of them all the same, and it's really just when I look back at them, I just feel like, yeah, that was tough. But I mean, I kind of go into every game with the same mentality and the same like feeling. So I can't really pick a great like my hardest team. I mean, I know Tennessee won the national championship, so I mean, obviously I can just say go straight to them. But I mean, every team I feel like I kind of have the same mentality.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right.
Liam, you got another one?
Yes. What's your pregame warm up?
My pregame warm up is I like to like roll out. I'll get like a foam roller. I'll roll out my legs. I'll roll out my back a little. I get a lacrosse ball. I roll out my shoulder, roll my elbow. I roll out the bottom of my feet because it just like kind of loosens you up a little more. And then I like to stretch. There's a few stretches I like to do. It's like a doorway stretch. It's like you like kind of like, I don't really know how to explain it. You put your arm on you put your arm like above your head and you like pull, and it's kind of like a lat stretch.
Oh yeah,
It stretches your lat, it stretches your shoulder, stretches all that stuff out. I do that, and I also I do like a few other stretches just to like loosen up my shoulder, my elbow, my body. Kind of, I just like, I mean, I do a bunch of stretches. I really just like to loosen up the body, and then when I get on, I like to do some bands. I have a few things I like to do. One thing I do is I pull the band up, and then I like to like slowly retract and kind of like work on like just like let the band do its work. And then another thing is I do some plyos. I kind of do a bunch of stuff just to like get my shoulder and all, my full arm, my body loose. So I mean that's kind of majority of my warm up.
And Jake, to carry on the Liam's question, I have a question about that same thing. When you are rolling out your arm, like, do you use a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball?
I use lacrosse ball. Tennis ball for me is like, it's a little too soft. I feel like when I put like pressure on it, it like dents in a little. And the lacrosse ball is nice and firm, so I use that.
I just wanted to ask that question because when I do that, I use a lacrosse ball. I just wanted to know, in your opinion, like, what do you use?
Yeah, I mean, I use a lacrosse ball when when I can't find a lacrosse ball, I use a baseball. I mean, when you're at the field, there's always a baseball. If not, I mean, anything that really works. I mean, I remember one time I had nothing. I had no baseball. I had nothing, and I was like, I needed to roll out with something, so I used the pool ball. I mean, anything that you can find that like is like that you can roll out on. I mean, and anything really works. It's whatever you preference. But for me, my number one is lacrosse ball.
Liam, do you have another one, or you want me to ask a question?
Can I go?
Yeah, you can go, Coach.
I got a question here. How long you been playing ball?
Oh, I started playing baseball when I was around like 4 years old. So
Okay.
I want to say, I mean, I'm 20 now, so I want to say that's 16 years.
Gotcha.
Been a long time.
Logan, you playing 10U or 11U right now, Logan?
I'm playing 10U, which it's pretty much 11U because they moved up now. And my 11U team.
I got you.
Yeah,
Hold on one second. I'm going somewhere with this. All right. So when you were in your 10U, when you were playing 10U, Jake,
right?
A July game, right? Or no, we're not in July yet. A June game. Give me a score from one of those games.
Gosh. Oh.
Hard to remember, right?
Yeah, I mean it feels like yesterday, but it also, I mean, time flies, but it's also like I can't really remember from that.
Did you ever lose any games?
Oh, 100%.
I mean, when you were in 10U, 11U, 12U, you lost some games, right?
100%, yeah.
Logan, that right there is the reason you should never get upset about a game right now. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You won't remember these games.
Right.
Like, you'll remember your friends. You'll remember who you played with.
Yep.
You'll remember probably things that happened during a game. But the final score and you getting upset with yourself, you're just adding additional stress that's not needed. Okay?
Coach.
Look, stop it. Okay? Just stop it right now. Don't let it happen again. I'm just kidding. All right, dude. I'm gonna let you guys go on from there. I'm sorry. I just had to ask.
Give me almost a heart attack there, Coach Aaron. You scared me there.
Go ahead, man. You got it.
All right. Jake, do you what do you take on the bus with you to eat? Like, what is your favorite protein bar?
Protein bar. I mean, I don't really. I mean, my protein bar, I kind of just have like a nice like one of the Gatorade bars.
I like those. Yeah.
I have one of those. I mean, I kind of eat whatever. I mean, I like to have like a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I like to have a pretty big meal with that. I mean, if I'm hungry, I'll kind of have like whatever's around. I mean, I like to try to stay on like the healthy side and like the protein bars and stuff like that, like you said. But I mean, when I'm at Florida, they're sponsored by Gatorade, so they have a lot of like the Gatorade chew bars.
Oh
So I
yeah.
have one of those. But when I'm home, I have like I want to say, I mean, I've had Fit Crunch for a long time, but I mean, I don't really have a specific protein bar. I really just have whatever's available, to be honest with you.
Right. Do you?
I have a trivia question, right quick.
Okay.
Jake, do you know why it's called Gatorade?
Because of the gator, and then I don't know.
Because Florida Gators, the
Right,
university, is actually who developed the drink.
Yeah,
So that's why it's
I know the
Gatorade.
gator part of it is because of Florida, but I don't know where the aid part comes from.
Well, the aid is just you just got to put something at the end.
Right,
of it,
yeah, for
you
sure.
just got to make it sound good. Powerade,
Right.
Gatorade. I've been drinking Gatorade all my life. What is wrong with me?
Right.
All right, sorry.
So do you I think remember Cannon CBA, right? Cannon's Baseball Academy.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think I used to bat boy. Yes, I did bat boy for your team a couple times. I remember when they would deliver all the protein bars, I would always be the one that would be eating all of them. I got more than the players did. And
That's
also,
funny.
what do you eat before a game?
Before a game, I mean, honestly, it kind of varies. I'm a huge Chipotle guy, so I like to go to Chipotle. I mean, anything really works. I mean, normally they provide us with like pregame meals, but I mean, anything really works. Like, honestly, like I'm a huge like kind of superstitious guy. Like, whatever I have, like if I throw well, I like to have whatever I had that day before. That's just me personally. But I mean, I'll eat whatever's around. I like to go to Jersey Mike's, Chipotle. I mean, anything's really fine with me.
No, you're not pulling in the McDonald's drive-through, right?
Nah, don't get me wrong. I've had some McDonald's here and there just because, like, there's times where we get back from a game and it's late, and I'll DoorDash something to, like, if we're on the road or something.
Right.
So I'll, like, DoorDash just because that's the only place open. But I try to stay away from stuff like that just because it's not the healthiest stuff, like, stuff on like, that menu or whatever, but.
Yup.
I was looking up and it said that you got injured. How
Right.
and it was pretty impressive that you came back and pitched in the playoff game. And what did you do in your rehab to get this better? Well, get better.
Right. So I mean, I just done this to my shoulder last year. So I mean, the number one thing that I listened to is I just listened to the trainers, everything they had to say to me, and like every lift, every rehab, every like stretch, like all my mobility, all my weightlifting, everything I took really seriously. Because I mean, when you're hurt, it really stinks when like you're just sitting there. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like there's nothing wrong with I didn't mind like being able to just watch like baseball and stuff like that and get to learn from other people, but you always want to be out there and you wanna like help your team win and stuff like that. So I mean, it stunk for me because I didn't like to I really like to be a part of everything and like be part of the wins, and also I wanted to be able to help my team win. That's just like the number one thing. So I just felt like I I really went after it in the gym. I went after it in my rehab. I mean, I just worked on like my strengthening my arms, strengthening my body. So
Right.
that was a big thing for
What's
me.
a gym workout look like normally for a pitcher? I've always wondered that. Like, I mean,
I mean,
obviously your hitters are lifting weight. They're trying to,
right.
pack on muscle. What are you guys working on?
I mean, we work on the same things. I mean, a pitcher needs to be strong just like a hitter. I work big on legs. I work up on my upper body. You like that's the thing. Like a lot of people, like some people just only work on legs, but the thing is, like you got to work legs and upper body because you need your upper body to be strong. So it starts with the legs, obviously. Like that's like the main structure. So I hit some like I'll hit some legs, I hit some upper body, some all. I like to touch every muscle group just because when you're pitching, you're using your whole body. It's not like you're just using your arm. It's not like you're just using your legs. I mean, you're using everything. So I like to make
Right.
sure everything's that it's like super strong.
And your do you like when you right after you do like do you go like more than you're supposed to do? Like, do you go to the gym more than you're supposed to do than the doctor tells you to get extra better, and faster?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when I was hurt, I would like the players were playing, so they'd only go to the gym when like they didn't go to the gym as much because that's like a lot of stress on the body. But for me, like since I was hurt, like I went to the gym every time it was available. I would make sure to get into the gym and make sure like I'm doing stuff. But I mean, it's great to do a lot. It's great to like work out a lot, and but it's also there's also times where you got to know when you're pushing yourself too much because sometimes you can have an injury. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I love hitting the gym and all that stuff, but I mean, when you're doing too much, it gets to a certain point where you're putting a lot of stress on your body, and instead of letting it heal, you're just putting too much stress on it to where it's really not healing. But I mean, at the same time, you want to hit the gym and get strong, but you don't want to do too much to where you can possibly hurt something else.
Right. Liam, I'll let you carry on with your questions now.
Okay. What was your favorite stadium to pitch in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I can definitely say Omaha is up there. In Omaha, it was really sweet. I mean, just saying that there's like 20,000 fans in the stands. I mean, that was really cool. I mean, I love pitching at Florida in the home crowd. But if I had to go like an opposing team, I mean, geez, there's a lot of cool places. I mean, we had at the Super Regional when we played Clemson, they had a really good crowd. Uh, Oklahoma State was really nice. Arkansas was really nice. I mean, there's a lot of places. If I can give you a top three, I would say Florida. Uh, I would say Charles Schwab Field, which is Omaha, and the College World Series. And if I had to give you three, it's a tough one. I'm not really sure. I got to throw Clemson and Arkansas were really cool.
We don't like Clemson on this show. I live in the upstate of South Carolina, so this state is like split between like Carolina and Clemson.
Right.
And my wife is a Carolina fan, so I got to halfway be a Gamecock, but I'm always Cane. So
right, yeah. I mean,
yeah, well, we don't like Clemson.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not a huge fan of Clemson just because we had a tough series against them, which we ended up winning. But I mean, I would say that they had a good crowd. It was definitely a rowdy crowd. They
love their baseball. They definitely do.
Right.
Yeah.
Jake, that sounds so cool that you got to pitch in all those cool stadiums.
Yeah.
What was your favorite? Well, actually, I'll let Liam say that part.
Oh, why was it your favorite? Oh, wait, what?
Oh,
What
what was
mean,
your
Logan?
favorite detail about? Yeah.
Okay.
What was
Why
your
were
favorite
those
detail?
stadiums your favorite to pitch in?
What'd you say again? Sorry.
Why were those stadiums your favorite to pitch in?
I would say In Omaha, the Charles Schwab Field. It was just because they had a real. It was. I mean, it was. It's a college player's dream to pitch at Omaha. I mean, it was a huge crowd, biggest lights, and I mean, they call it the greatest show on dirt. I mean, I can't really, I can't really go much on that. I mean, it's the biggest stage in college baseball. So I mean, that was really cool. I mean, Clemson. I mean, obviously Florida, just because it's my home, like it's my home field. I love that field. I mean, I love everything about Florida. So I mean, I love just pitching in front of the home crowd and being able to give them a show. And with Clemson, it was. I mean, Clemson, Arkansas, all those fields they're really nice facilities and stuff like that. I know. I think Arkansas they had like a little bracket of like the best stadiums. I saw that Arkansas won. I mean, I can't agree fully because I think Florida's is I like Florida a lot, but I mean, I can say Arkansas is a nice facility. Also, I mean, the thing about Clemson that I liked a lot is just, I mean, it's a super regional. When you're in a super regional, every team, their fans are going to show out, and I mean, Clemson did a good job of showing out for a super regional. So, I mean, I'm not sure how their stadium looks like on a Tuesday night in a midweek, but I know that in the super regional, they packed that stadium nice.
Hey, I have a question. Logan, are you okay if I go?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, thank you. If you could go back now at the age 20 and talk to the 10-year-old version of yourself, what would be the message that you would want to be relayed to the 10-year-old version of Jake?
I would tell him to just have fun. I mean, it goes by quick. I mean, 10 years, I mean, I feel like I can remember 10 years ago. I mean, I remember my teammates, I remember my coaches, I remember everything that went on. I mean, if it really goes by fast. I remember like my coach used to tell me all the time that it goes by fast. I mean, looking back, I would just tell him to like enjoy the ride and I mean, work hard because I mean, hard work really does pay off. I know that it's like a common phrase, but it really does.
It does, and it's lost on a lot of people right now.
Right.
So. All right, Logan, back to you, sir.
Okay. Jake. What's all right? I got it now. What was your Do you have any pregame songs that you listen to?
Yeah, I mean, there's one song that I always listen to. I mean, I can't. It's got some curse words in it, so I don't know if it's the perfect song, but
you who sings it?
Future and J. Cole.
Sure.
It's called Red Leather. I mean,
Okay.
I started listening to it. I'm pretty superstitious, so I like to keep my routine the same. So I think one game I listened to it right before the game, and I threw well that game. So after that, like ever since then, I just make sure that I like always listen to it before I get off the bus, before I take my AirPods out, anything. I make sure that that song plays. And I mean, when I pitch bad, I just make sure to not switch that up because I mean, it was there when I did good. It's going to be there when I do bad. I mean, obviously, when you continue to do bad, maybe you want to switch it up a little, but I mean,
Logan or Liam, do you guys have any superstitions already?
I do.
What's yours?
I always one thing that I always do is I like to listen to music before the game. Mm-hmm. I listen to the same mix every single game that I have on SoundCloud. Okay. And that's pretty much it, honestly. I don't think I have any other superstition.
Okay, good. So you wash your boxers and stuff every game and socks and all that stuff?
Yes.
Or your mom does? Yeah, okay. Liam, what's yours?
My superstition is that I wear the same socks every game.
Oh, I knew it. Had to be one in the crowd. Dude, when's the last time those socks have been washed?
They get washed basically after every game.
Oh, okay. So you do wash them, you just rewear them. Do they have holes in them?
Well, this All-Stars, like, I wore the same socks every game instead of different ones because I just did good in them. And they don't have
Okay.
holes.
Well, it's common sometimes for the big toe to stick out, if you wear them too much. But, hey, look, if it's keeping you winning, keep it going.
Keep it going.
So, all right, Logan, you're up, dude.
All right. Okay, so I got it. All right. What are your pitches in your arsenal?
I throw a four-seam fastball, which I mean it's got some movement on it, so I like to. I mean that's my number one pitch. I throw a slider, and then I also throw a changeup.
And out of those three pitches that you throw, what is your favorite pitch to throw?
I mean I enjoy all of them. I mean obviously I love to throw a heater because I mean having someone get swing and miss. I mean what's better than throwing a fastball right by someone? I mean I enjoy that. I also like to see people chase at my slider or changeup. I mean, I like throwing them all, honestly.
Right.
What's your velocity? How fast are you throwing?
I mean, normally I sit around like 94 to 96. The hardest I've ever thrown, I hit 99 in the fall for before I started the season. Throughout the season, I think maybe the highest I hit was like 97, maybe 98. I'm not 100% sure.
Wow. Then that changeup must be brutal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's what I tell a lot of kids. And Jake, correct me. Like, I feel like at some of these kids' ages, they're so worried about all the movement pitches. But if you can throw and control a good fastball and got a good changeup, I mean, that's honestly what I tell them. What would you tell them to do?
I mean, look, the biggest thing I've learned is just command. I mean, when you can get on the mound and you can throw your pitches for strikes, that's like the biggest thing that I've really learned throughout like my process throughout college, high school, all of them. 'Cause, I mean, when you can throw everything for a strike, that really helps. I mean, the heater, the changeup, whatever you want to throw, I mean, you gotta really stick to it. I mean, and the biggest thing I really heard that one of the things I really heard is that when you throw your heater and you don't trust it, if you guys throw the same miles per hour, you throw the same pitches. If one person trusts their fastball and the other person doesn't, the person who trusts their fastball is going to be a lot better than the kid that doesn't trust their stuff.
Right. And also, when you're facing a really good batter, and what are your go-to pitches if the batter is really good?
I mean, I like to keep the same kind of like pitches and stuff like that. I don't like to change anything that much up, but I mean, obviously, like everyone knows, when you're facing a really good batter, you want to get him out because you know that he's a really good hitter. So
Right.
I mean, I like to keep the same stuff throughout the entire game, but I mean, obviously, there's sometimes that adrenaline hits you a little bit, and you start to throw a little harder against the really good players. But I mean, to be honest, I like to just I like to calm myself down and really just keep like the same mentality throughout the entire game and just attack each hitter the same way.
Hey,
So
Jake.
when you try to do too much, sometimes it doesn't go the right way.
Thank you for that advice. I think I can hit off you.
After he just said all that, we're not. Look, we won't count if you stand on the plate and get hit by a pitch. You actually have to swing a bat.
I know. I'm gonna be like 5 seconds late on the ball.
We're gonna have to see about that one.
Yeah. Let's see him throw that 95 and see how you do. Look, dude, if you hit it.
I fouled off a 90-mile-an-hour pitch.
What were you trying to bunt?
No, they were like fake baseballs. They look like baseballs, but they're fake.
Man, he didn't throw that 90. They just told you that.
They were actually going 90 miles an hour. It's like baseballs that you can hit. But
they were using a calculator for a radar gun. Man, come on now. Liam, what you got for this dude?
Okay, adding on to Logan's question, is there any other pitches that you like to learn how to throw?
I mean, there's a ton of pitches. I mean, I'd love to learn like a really good knuckleball. That'd be cool. But I mean, I really like. I don't like to. I mean, I like to perfect my pitches that I throw right now until I learn a new one. Just because I don't want to be learning all these pitches, and then at the same time, I can't really command any of them. I can't really throw any of them in like a high leverage situation. So I feel like once you like perfect your pitches, that's when you can start to broaden your horizon and learn different pitches. I mean, I feel like you can see that even in the pros. Like they have like their three pitches, and then once they are really good with those, like they start to broaden their horizon and they throw some other pitches just to throw some hitters off.
All right. And after you pitch, do you ice your arm or just do you let it sit?
Um, That's a good question. I mean, I don't let it just sit. I like to do some mobility just because after you pitch, your muscles are really tired and they're tight. So I like to do mobility to make sure like they're moving around, they're loose. I also like to hit some arm care. I'll do some bands. I'll do some weight. I'll do some like IYTs is what we call it. Um, I mean, there's times where you do like where I do want to ice it, just like if I have some inflammation or something like that, where I will ice it. But I mean, I like to try to stay away from ice. I mean, I don't think ice is a bad thing, but me personally, I like to try to stay away from it. I like to just do my mobility, my rehab kind of like plan.
And also, adding on to Liam's question, like if your muscles are feeling extra sore, or you might have to even take a week off of baseball, what is your arm recovery then?
If my arm's really sore, I mean, I just like to keep it moving. I like to like make sure I'm doing like my all my stuff the same. I mean, if I have to take a week off of throwing, I mean, then that means it's a little more serious than I mean, not a little more serious, but like if it's sore, I just like to keep it moving and just making sure that if it's like if it's not getting better, then that's something that like maybe I have to like get a little more serious about it. But I mean, normally just if I have some normal arm soreness, I like to move my arm around and just do stuff to like kind of like flush that stuff out of it. Just like I mean, if there's soreness, tightness, I mean, you're always gonna be sore or tight at some point. I mean, but I
Well, let
mean,
me ask you a question. So if you have to take a week off or take a few days off,
right.
does playing Fortnite help you recover?
I would definitely say that is not great, but I mean,
Okay.
I
What
will say
about
though that
playing MLB
if
The Show? If you
I
play a
mean,
baseball game, does that help you recover?
oh no, I mean it's not gonna help you recover, but for sure I will say though that after you do all your recovery and stuff like that, that's when you can play the game.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Somebody out there might have that question, and I thought it was important to ask, Logan.
It's fine.
All right.
I would have asked that question too.
I bet you would have. All right, Liam, what you got, buddy?
Okay. Do you have any lucky clothing that you wear?
Any lucky clothing? Uh, I'm trying to think. Not really. I mean, normally if I mean, I have the same pair of socks that, I mean, at Florida we have the same socks, but they like wash them, so I kind of like to keep the same socks. I mean, for my like for my underwear, like maybe I'll just like I mean I don't really have anything super specific. It's kind of just like I kind of just wear like whatever I'm provided, and I'll just wear that. It's kind of just I mean for me my superstitious stuff is like maybe I mean sometimes like honestly like I'll put my socks on. I'll put my sock on the right foot, then I'll put on the left foot, or like my routine of like getting dressed. I mean, it's like small stuff like that. But I mean, definitely when I was younger, I had like a special socks or like my special underwear or something like that that I would have to wash after every game. But
Right. Yeah.
not really anymore. I kind of just have like a routine where like whatever's working is working.
Right.
Even if flies follow you, if it's working. So, hey, let me ask you a question. So, all right, so Florida season's done. You're up at the Cape Cod League.
Right.
and not just anybody gets an invite to come up there.
For sure.
Like, tell me what makes that league so special.
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's just like, I mean, everything I've heard is just, I mean, obviously, I'm up here right now. I mean, Cape Cod in the summer. I mean, there's nowhere better. I mean, obviously, like, there's that, like, a lot of places are nice, but I mean, the Cape Cod is a really nice area. Uh, a lot of the scouts are up here. A lot of like college scouts and MLB scouts are up here. I mean, a lot of like a lot of talent just really like kind of comes up here because I mean it's kind of been like a tradition after the
Mm-hmm.
college season. A lot of like the like talented players. I mean, talented players go everywhere. I mean, obviously like it's a goal to go to the Cape, but I mean if you go to another league, I mean no matter where you go, you still want to perform.
Right.
But I mean I've been having a good time up here in the Cape.
How many games have you played so far?
I mean I only got up here like 2 days ago,
Oh,
so.
okay. So you're
So
fresh
I
there.
had my first game was yesterday. I didn't play in, but today I pitched in a game, so that
All
was
right.
nice.
Now,
Oh yeah.
I assume the batters that you're facing are pretty lethal, right? Like most everyone that comes up to the plate's ready to hit.
Right? Yeah. I mean every batter's pretty elite. I mean it's a tough league, but I mean you got to bring your best stuff.
That's good. How'd you do today?
I did all right. I started the game. I went. It was my first start here up in the Cape, so I had like a little shorter leash. So I went
Uh-huh.
4 innings. I let up 2 runs, and then I had 6 strikeouts.
There you go.
Yep.
That's not bad for a first outing.
Right. Yeah.
All right, Logan, you got it.
All right. I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite memory of high school baseball?
Good question.
My favorite memory was probably winning a state and national title with my high school. I mean, that was pretty awesome. Just being able to celebrate that with the boys. I mean, everyone's goal is to win the final game. So I mean, being able to say that I got to do that in my last 2 seasons in high school was pretty cool. So.
Oh wow, 2 years in a row.
Right. Yeah, we went back to back, so that was pretty neat.
You were a starter in high school, I assume.
Yeah, my junior year, I didn't really pitch that much. I was more of a hitter. And then my senior year, I did both.
Okay. Now you guys actually have a couple players that hit, that do both now, right? For the Gators.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You see any Shohei Ohtani traits coming out of Florida?
I mean, yeah, we got a guy in Florida that he just played last season. His name's Jack Caglione.
Uh-huh.
He simulates Shohei Ohtani pretty well. I want to say his average was like 400, and he had like 35 home runs, maybe. I mean, and he also was like our Sunday night starter or Sunday day starter. So, I mean,
wow,
that was pretty neat.
Let me ask you a question, Logan. I'm gonna turn it back over to you.
Okay.
All right, you as a pitcher, you know what a pitch looks like, right? You can probably pick out curve, slider, knuckle, here, whatever. Why can't pitchers hit?
I mean, I feel like I don't really think. I mean, I want to say that I
pitchers and catchers, like you guys have seen it all,
right? I mean, me personally, like when I hit in high school, like I enjoyed it a lot. Like I wouldn't say I was the best hitter, but I wouldn't say I was a bad hitter.
Yeah.
It kind of just got to the point where like I really wanted to focus on pitching, and so that's kind of why I went in that route of being a pitcher only. But I mean, I'm not really sure why pitchers can't hit. I mean, hitters do stuff that pitchers can't do, and pitchers can do stuff that hitters can't do. So I mean,
that's true.
Everyone's got their own little special thing. I mean,
that's always been a mystery of mine. But you make some good points.
Right.
All right, Logan. Let's start wrapping it up, man. You got some final questions, you too?
I do. I think Liam does too.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Liam start this time.
Okay.
Alright, I have 2 more. Or actually I have 3. So what do you do when your team is hitting? Like in the dugout?
am I pitching at this time or am I just
You're pitching.
Alright, I mean I like to just like sit there and watch the game, making sure like I know what's going on in the game. If there's a long inning, I like to move my arm around. I'll maybe do some band just to keep my blood flowing in my arm. Uh, I mean, just really just paying attention to the game and making sure I'm staying locked in when I'm not on the mound is just like the number one thing. Because it's pretty easy to let your mind roam off somewhere else and get distracted, and then have to go back out there and you don't do your job. So I mean, that's like the number one thing for me is I like to make sure that I'm staying locked in on the game and making sure I'm doing my job to help my team win.
Carrying on to Liam's question, do you go up onto the do you get up on the fence and like cheer on your teammates, or are you like do you still like cheer on your teammates? Like do you sit on the bench? Do you are you up on the fence?
Right. I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a personal preference. I mean, there's time like I like to be up on the fence and like making sure I'm cheering on my teammates and stuff like that. But there's also times where I mean, I just want to sit down and like kind of catch my breath and get a breather and also get to watch the game just from the bench. But it's kind of like I'll be back and forth. It's really kind of like a feel and tell type of thing. I mean, I like to make sure that I'm still like I'm involved in the game and making sure I'm watching them hit and just making sure I'm locked in. So whatever's working for me, whatever is helping me staying locked in, that's what I like to do.
I have two more questions for you.
All right, shoot 'em.
What all right, I got it. What is the best experience that what is the best experience that you have experienced in college baseball?
I mean, my freshman year, we went to the national championship. That was a big experience. Uh, I mean, this past year we went to the College World Series. I mean, that was really cool. Just being able to I mean, my freshman year I was a part of it. I was on the team, but being able to help my team get to that stage was definitely another cool one. I mean, starting in a super regional, I started against Oklahoma State, and I threw well against them. I mean, I've got a lot of really good experiences. I can't really decide a specific one, but I mean, that's about it, to be honest with you.
Okay. And Liam, I'll let you say your two more questions.
Okay. Do the coaches let you hit BP?
They do not know. I mean, I wish I
What?
could. I wish I could, but I mean, they got to make sure that the hitters get all the reps that they need, so they do not let me hit BP.
And that's why hitters can't hit right there because they're hating on pitchers.
Yep.
Pitcher hate.
It's not fair.
We should take a stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're always so nice to the hitters, but they're never nice to the pitchers.
I know. I mean, come on now.
If I was
Liam, what's your last one, Liam? Yeah, that was a good question, man.
My last question is, do you have tips for young pitchers that want to make it a long way in baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I would say that just making sure that you keep your body healthy, making sure that you're, yeah, I mean, at a young age, hitting the gym, maybe it's a little too early, but making sure that you're maybe doing push-ups, sit-ups, anything that you can help strengthen your body and make sure your body's at 100% when you get on the field. Uh, I would say really just enjoy it. I mean, just have a good time when you're on the mound. Really live in the moment and just attack guys. I mean, you want to throw your best stuff at them. I mean, that's just the number one thing I would say is just really, I mean, just work hard and attack with your best stuff.
Good stuff.
all right, I have one more question.
All right, yeah, shoot it.
All right. What in in high school baseball, what how hard were you throwing in high school compared to your college year?
You want to go like year by year or just like the hardest that I threw like all together?
The hardest like what was your hardest that you threw in high school?
In high school, I threw 97 my senior year. I mean, I normally sat around like 93 to 94, but I mean, I remember there was a game where I was like 94 to 96 and I threw 97, but there's some games that I was like 92 to 94. I mean, I kind of like to just like sit around there.
So you're the heater guy. Like there's no doubt. Like you're the guy with speed.
Right, for sure.
All right.
Have you
like because like pitchers have like characteristics. Like some are great with motion. I mean, like Maddox. Maddox was a master on the mound. Greg Maddox for you young guys.
Yeah.
And but like that's really cool to hear.
Have you hit any home runs in high school baseball?
Yeah, I want to say like 9 or 8 total. I didn't really hit a lot of home runs my senior year. I didn't hit 9. I hit 5 my senior year, 4 my junior year.
Very cool.
We're gonna ask you the last question.
Sounds good.
What is your walk-up song?
Oh, my walk-up song. Last year it was Lord Knows by Drake, but this upcoming year I'm probably gonna change it to maybe the shoot, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good options out there. I like the Climb, I think I want to say it's called. It's oh no, I think it's the Chain. I forget what it's called, but there's some good walk up songs out there. But mine last year was Lord Knows by Drake.
Right. I appreciate you coming on the show, and
Appreciate you having me.
With you.
Say that again.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Yeah. What happened?
So you
He
cut
didn't
out
hear
a
that
little.
last part.
Oh, I said that I appreciate you coming on the show and getting to know you better, and that we got to have a nice long conversation with you and getting to know you better. And
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was really
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
Hey, Liam, we can't leave you out. Everybody that comes on the show's got to tell us their walkout song. What's yours, dude?
I don't really have one. Well,
oh my gosh.
Well, when I go up to bat, I'm thinking about changing it to something, but I forgot it. It was Mr. Clean by Young Gravy.
Nice.
Young Gravy. I listened to him for the first time last week. I got introduced to Young Gravy. This like 6'6" white cowboy looking dude is like dropping rhymes. Okay. All right. Okay. Hey, look, there's a first time for everything on this show. So that's all right. All right, Logan, I'm going to close it down for you. Good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. Look, Jake, thank you, man. I know, I know you're going through a lot, traveling, busy. Last thing you want to do is hang out with some crazy people for an hour, and we appreciate you for coming on and talking to these kids that are, hope to be in your position one day. So,
right, of course. Appreciate having me.
Tell us our listeners and viewers how we can find you on social media.
You can find me through Instagram. You can find me through Instagram at jake.clemente, and that's about it. That's really the only social media I really use, to be honest.
That's the only one that I really even matters to me. I still can't figure TikTok out. So, I mean, it's just a bunch of random stuff. But all right, so we're going to do a couple things here. So at the end of the show, I'm going to let Logan say until next time. And then Jake, you got to say, we'll catch you on the slide. All right. We will catch you on the slide.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So I'm going to thank everybody for listening now. And then I'm going to say, Logan, you're going to say until next time. And he's going to drop it on us. Okay.
Coach, do you want Liam to do it with me till next time?
If you guys can do it.
All right, Liam.
You'll have to count it out, but give me just a minute. I'll tell you when you're ready to go. So listen, thank you guys again for listening. This show was truly hosted by Logan Wydra, the Lowdown. And I think he did a pretty phenomenal job for his first time. So great job, Logan.
Thank you.
Liam, thank you very much for joining us. And I can't wait to see some of the content that you get to create over the next few weeks. And maybe it comes to the Slide Podcast feed near you. So anyway, but thank you guys very much for listening to the show. Make sure you recommend us to friends and families. If you got a young superstar in the family, or you know someone, tell them to come talk to us. This is what we're here for. So, again, Jake, thank you very much. Wish you wasn't a Florida Gator, but I still appreciate you coming.
Yes,
and
sir.
Logan, you're up.
Till next time.
Catch you on the slide.
There you go.
We thank you for toughing it out and pushing through. Now, let's go teach the world great sportsmanship, leadership, to go inspire someone through your dedication and excitement for the game. Make sure to smash the like and follow button on all social media at The Slide Podcast Show and The Slide Pod on Twitter. Plus, leave us a review and feedback. Until next time, we'll catch you on the slide.